Hi everybody, I'm going to be doing a install of a 12 volt power socket into my wife's 2016 Hyundai Tucson. I went to Advanced Auto Parts and picked up some parts, and these are the things you need to install a cigarette lighter or an additional 12 volt accessory plug for your car. Again, this is for a 2016 Hyundai Tucson. In the 2016 Hyundai Tucson, they use micro fuses. There's three different sizes of fuse. There's regular size, the mini, and the micro. And these are the micro portions. So I have a assortment kit here. I have a added fuse for a micro fuse. Got some wire. Of course, the cigarette lighter itself, or the 12 volt line itself. Some wire snips, cutters, heat shrink, something to melt the heat shrink, and also some solder, so you can solder the wires. It's going to be pretty straightforward. I'm going to be also adding a Proclip to the car so my wife can dock her phone when she's on the road. I'll show you how to install that as well. So the idea is I install the cigarette lighter, get a USB plug that into here, and then from there use a Apple lightning cable to plug into the Proclip so she can charge her phone. So I'll show you the process how to do that. Alrighty, so you simply open up the package, obviously, and to get a good connection, it does come with a clamp type thing. I don't really recommend using that. I think you get a better connection when you solder the cable. So simply clip off the cable, strip it, I bought some 18 gauge wire here to use to run the wire. You may have some of this lying around your shop. Get a good length, more than you think you need, so you can always cut it back. Strip that. Get your heat shrink. Put it together. And then solder it. I'm not going to show you that because I have to warm up my soldering gun, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I soldered and heat shrank the line here, so it's nice and sturdy. That's never going to go anywhere. It only took about 2 or 3 minutes to do. And now I have a nice, really long tail on this added fuse, and should be long enough to run into the car. So I'll show you guys how to run that now. Okay, here's my wife's car, and the fuse panel is located right underneath the driver's seat on the left. Let me pull it out here, and everything's labeled here underneath, if you guys can read it or not. I think I'm going to go with the, it's a whole bunch of spares, but I'm going to go with the power outlet. If you guys can read it. Power outlet, it's the 4th fuse up on the left, I'm sorry, on the right, and take it from there. One thing I wanted to note on here, you can see there's two, since we're adding a fuse, it's pretty much adding an extra line to an existing fuse. So you put the, in this case, the original fuse on the bottom here, and the new line is going to be the top. So you simply take out the fuse from your fuse panel and put it into this bottom slot, and then put your new fuse that you want to put in right in the top slot right here. Okay, originally I was going to go through the console here, but I couldn't get the tray out easily enough. Instead of fighting with it, I decided to go onto the right here on the passenger side. There is an access panel. There's a little hole right here. You simply stick your finger in, pretty much pull and wiggle it out, and that should give me enough access to run a wire. I'm going to use a zip tie to try and get the wire in, because essentially the mount is going to go right about here from the Proclip. So that's that. So there you go. Just remove the panel there. Okay, so I fished the wire through. I had to use the same color because I'm out of wire, but I marked the ground with a piece of tape so I know this is the ground wire. And this is the positive wire that's going to the new fuse, add a fuse. As you can see there, the two wires are hanging out over there. I made sure that the wires weren't really caught on anything. It was a nice clear path. Everything's moving nice and loose, so it's not touching anything. And now I'm going to attach the cigarette plug. So you have two colors, obviously red and black, positive and ground. I can't get my soldering gun in here, so I'm going to use heat shrink and electrical tape. It should hold just fine, and then I'm going to zip tie it into place so it won't move, and we should be good to go. So now I'm just going to strip the yellow wires and attach them and use my heat shrink, and there we go. Then we have your connection. Okay, so I just shrunk wrapped and wrapped the cords, positive and negative. You double check to be sure that you're connecting the right ones to the right colors, and you should be good to go. You'll be able to tuck this away. I'm tucking it underneath here and running this right here. Okay, so I've been trying to figure out where I'm going to be putting my grounding point. I looked all underneath and couldn't find a good suitable spot until I popped off the side panel here, and I noticed there was a screw here that's welded to the bolt is welded to the frame, so I just have to loosen this guy up, and I'll put the wire in between the washer, the nut, and the bolt, and it should be a good enough grounding point. It looks like it goes throughout the whole chassis of the car, so it's a good grounding point right here. So we'll test it out and see how it goes. Okay, screwed it in place. Looks pretty good, looks nice and secure. And next up is putting the fuse in. Okay, so according to the panel here, I'm going to be doing it to the power outlets that we have right over there. Power outlets listed here. It's a 20 amp fuse. I'm going to use the same 20 amp fuse that I picked up. I picked up one of these little guys here. Remember, these are the micro fuses for the 2016 Tucson. So I put a 20 amp, I'm going to pull out the 20 amp that's in there, and I'll pop it into the lower one, and then I'll put it right into place here. I'll show you a clearer picture in a second. Okay, so I put the 20 amp fuse in. It covers the lower two fuses, but that's going to be a pain in the butt to check if something goes bad. But yeah, it popped right in, two 20 amp fuses, and I tucked the wires underneath here, nice and clean. Can't really see anything unless you take the panels off. I ran the wires underneath there over to the other side. So we're going to do a quick test, see how it looks. Okay, so I plugged in a USB cigarette lighter to it has a fuse in it, so I have redundant fuses, one from the fuse box itself, and then one here, and a lightning cable right here. So since this is going to be plugged into a phone, I might as well check on my phone. So here we go, let's see if it works. Alright, so I'm going to plug it in. You guys can see, plug it in. Okay, no charge, no lightning bolt, indicating that it's charging. Can't really, so let me focus. Okay, so nothing there. Alright, let me turn it on, turn the car on. There it goes. So there you go. Now you successfully added a cigarette lighter or 12 volt line to your car. It's really blurry, but there you go. Turn off the car just to prove that it turns off. Disconnected. So there you go. Now to install the Proclip. Okay, so I used a lot of electrical tape, well not a lot, but enough to hold the cigarette lighter, the USB cigarette lighter in place, and the lightning cable into place. So it's all taped together so it won't move, and I'm going to zip tie it right behind here, and I'm going to run the cord up along this seam right here because the Proclip's going to sit right about here. Okay, so here is the Proclip, part number, I don't know if you can even read it, it's 855154. It comes in two parts. You buy this bracket and then you buy a iPhone bracket to fit your whatever size phone you need, and you slide the lightning cable in here and it locks into place. It's very delicate. I've broken these before and it's kind of expensive, so just be careful with the little clip here. Once you insert it, leave it alone, and you should be fine. So for the Tucson, this particular one, it snaps. I already peeled off the adhesion stickers, and you simply just snap it into place on the bracket here. It holds into place right underneath the panel, and I want to be sure I get this right, so I'm gonna go off camera and place it and then snap it into place. So 1 minute here. Okay, so it snapped into place. Looks really secure. It's not going anywhere. It snaps just right about there. Okay. So yeah, it just clicks it right into place. It doesn't go anywhere, and then it comes with 4 screws for the top part, and you kind of either mount it on the lower part or on the upper. I'm going to mount it right up here so she can have access to her phone. So I'm going to screw those into place and we'll be good to go. Okay, so I put the 4 screws in. In order to get the 4 screws in, I took the main screw out, screwed the bracket in, and then screwed the main screw back in again. And it looks pretty good in the car. It's nice and tight, and won't go anywhere. And now I'm going to run the lightning cable. I'm going to tuck it underneath, and let's see how it looks.